Thank you. Adele did my hair, so we have matching buns.
We do. We have matching buns.
And a little bit of my makeup.
I got it from my mama. Our house of 6 said, it is scary because you always question yourself. And that's so true.
That is so normal and so true. Mm-hmm. I would encourage you, leave it on the wall, even though it's scary. Like if it's a picture, put it on the wall, leave it there at least for a couple of weeks. It's going to take you a while to get used to it too. You're not used to it and you're putting it out there. So don't just take it down right away, but maybe work with it. Maybe you're going to add something to it, or maybe you decide later, I think a mirror would look better there, or I think something else. That's fine, but leave it up there for a while and keep working with it, because it is very scary, especially if you're doing something like what Adele did with one of her apartments when she was first starting decorating.
Oh my lands, you went there. So, my husband and I, Shane, had just gotten married. And, I'm like, oh, yeah, I finally have my own apartment to decorate. And I could do colors on the wall. You know how excited you get. And so I was like, this is awesome. So I did a yellow kitchen, a blue bathroom, like blue. You're thinking
bright.
blue, think like, brighter blue. And then, let's see, my bedroom was like a mint green, and the living room was a different colored green. Like, it was not cute. But, after doing it, after we moved, I was glad I tried it, because, that's a lot of color. And, like, you look in a magazine, and maybe they do have a blue bathroom or, yellow kitchen. And you're thinking, oh, the bathroom looks so cute, blue. But maybe just try one color for a little while. Because it started to kind of feel like...
a circus?
Like a circus. Like, you just don't know, am I going to the beach? And then am I going to, like, a Mexican restaurant? But I'm so glad I tried that, and I learned from it. I learned colors that I liked. Like, I really liked the mint green in the master bedroom, and I didn't really like the green in our living room. So I kind of know I lean towards, like, cooler colors than, like, brighter colors. But I still think they look cute in other people's homes.
And I let her do it, because you have to learn. No one can teach you this stuff. There are some things in life you learn on your own. And I knew she's going to learn, because I knew she was going to be a great decorator. I could already see it. And like when we moved into the house we're living in now, we live in a 110-year-old farmhouse, almost 111 years old.
It's gorgeous, you guys.
And when we moved in there, I let my son and daughter choose the colors they wanted in their bedroom, and we went exactly with the color that they wanted. It's the same like with hair. If you cut your hair, you have to if you don't like it, it'll grow out. Like with paint, paint is fine. You can paint over it again, so it's totally fine. Yeah. And I let Adele do those bright colors, and we worked with them in her decorating scheme.
And she even helped me paint them.
I helped her paint. But then the next house, when you guys went to Booker, Texas, and then you bought your home, she did a few more neutrals. On the wall. I don't have anything against color. I don't have anything against
I don't
color.
Either.
But
it's just the whole thing of being, what is your style? You have to do you. You have to make mistakes to learn what you like. And then when you learn what you like, you can really go after it. Like when we fixed up our farmhouse in Booker, Texas, I knew that I really liked plain walls. I just wanted beige or even white. Just something super neutral, so that I like to layer my neutrals a lot, like have a white table, and then sort of like what I have now with like the neutral shutters and the white milk glass. Like there's a lot of layering that goes on, and I just personally like that with the neutrals, because you can layer so much. I feel like with colors sometimes it's a little bit harder to do the layering thing, but
with paint, it's not usually super expensive, and you can paint over it.
Yeah.
So paint is a good thing to experiment with, I think.
And when we moved out of the apartment, they did paint over it. I think it's all beige now. So
we're doing a new eating plan, and my husband and I are trying to do more clean eating, and he's lost 22 pounds. I've lost only 4, but that's okay.
That's good.
And I made this chickpea soup a couple of weeks ago, but I've never worked with chickpeas before, and I didn't know they're a little bit harder than like a Great Northern bean. And I put 5 cans instead of the 2 they recommended in, because I thought it was going to be like a Southwest chili. That's too many chickpeas. And it was not good, and we threw a lot of chickpeas away. Yeah. But, that was like $5 or $6 that I wasted. So I learned next time I make it, I'm going to stick with the recommended 1 or 2 cans of chickpeas, or maybe no chickpeas. Yeah. And you just have to make mistakes to learn. You have to let yourself make a few mistakes to learn. And so I said earlier, the first anchor of decorating is work with the space you're in. So for example, in Adele's kitchen, I don't know how many of you have seen her new floor, but she painted her floor a black and white pattern. She has a black refrigerator, and so the black and white is perfect to work with in your space that you are in already. And if you're doing a wedding, or you're decorating for a special birthday, you can go into that, whatever that space is, and choose your balloons based on the colors already in that space. There's always colors, even if you think there's no color here. Look at the window trim, look at maybe window valances that are already there. Those neutrals will give you some hints. Look at the colors of the metal. Look at silver, gold, bronze, any of the metallic colors, because they all will pull certain colors out, and that can give you some hints about that.
And that can come with trial and error too, because you might think, oh, I want to try brass, and then you try it and you're like, not really feeling it. Maybe I'll try black, and then you can kind of work with what you have again. And like our handles were silver. And I said, you know what, I kind of want to paint our hardware black just to try it. And I ended up loving it. I love the black and white cabinets together.
It looks great. Looks really good.
Thanks. Lynette. Hi, Lynette.
Hi, Lynette.
She said, you are so cute together. I'd love to stay. However, I'm painting and doing stuff. Have fun painting. I can't wait to see what you do.
Awesome.
Thanks for popping on and saying hi. And then we got a question from Blessings Upon Blessings.
I love that name. That's awesome.
I do too. It's super cute. And who doesn't want blessings upon blessings? Yeah.
Adele's one of my blessings.
Oh, and right back at ya with Bun 5. Okay, we have our first question. She said, would you paint wood trim? You guys they just flipped a farmhouse. What is it, like 1904 or something?
1906.
1906. It's gorgeous, you guys.
We're gonna a little work.
Little updating, little work, little of that paint we were talking about. But do you want to talk about painting wood trim? Because didn't you guys do some of that?
It would probably depend on where you're going with the room. I don't know if you can tell me or not, is your wood trim a dark wood color right now that you're trying to keep the integrity of the old style of wood? Sometimes it depends on if you're going to paint all of the doors and like in this farmhouse we came into, it had some pretty doors, but then some of the doors weren't pretty and some of the trim wasn't pretty, and it was a better decision. We just painted it all white. We actually added crown molding on the top too, because crown molding frames the room in. So we did white. We painted all of it white, and I love it. It's a clean, bright, crisp white that can match really with anything. I would paint wood. I know there are certain rooms where if you're trying to keep the integrity and it's a darker, pretty color, I might not paint it. I would probably have to see the room, to really know for sure. But I definitely paint is so clean. It makes things feel so clean, and the white it brightens a space. And so I like white, but everyone has their opinion.
Yeah. Tell us more about your trim, and we could try to come back to that and talk about it more. Like if it's a maple wood or if it's already painted, or give us some more details and we could try to help you out a little bit more.
We talked about the first anchor is work with the space you're already in, especially in where you're going to position your furniture and your decorations, and also especially with your color. And I would encourage you, pretty much with every room, you want to, and even every space. Like right now, I can see Adele's kitchen, dining room, and her living room from where I'm sitting, and she has all of the same neutral, really beautiful woods and baskets of neutral colors, and so it all works together. And then with the pop of black in her kitchen, looks really nice. So just be aware of what you can see in a space. But then if you're going into a whole new room, you can do a whole new scheme in there and work with the colors in each of the spaces, if that makes sense. Like if your bathroom has gold in it, then you can put gold picture frames on the wall in there, whereas you might not want to in your, if you have black and white in your kitchen and you're not using gold in there, you might not want to work with gold in there. Every color matters. Every even your, like I said, the handles on your doors and on your cabinets, every color matters. But I would pick 1 or 2 colors to start within a room if you're just starting, and try to stick within that color scheme. And kind of work with that within each room that would be my second anchor, I would say. Pick with 1 or 2 colors. And if you're not sure what colors you like right now, do neutrals, do whites, do browns.
And then you can add like a great way to figure out kind of colors that you might like eventually if you want to start branching out, or even like a different neutral. Sometimes to me a darker neutral can be hard to style if you have like light woods and light neutrals. But I've learned that sometimes I'll like grab a different throw pillow that I never had before with a different color, because throw pillows are usually pretty inexpensive, and if you don't like it, you can just get another one, you know, or paint it or something. Or sometimes like wreaths or like small things that you can add to a space just to kind of try out a color. If that makes sense,
that does.
We have a good
seeing
question.
Here, blessings. Well, blessings upon blessings got back to us. It's oak, only in the living room and staircase. Everywhere else is white.
Okay.
So, I would say then go with what your gut is saying. Sometimes you have to listen to your gut. Like your logic might be saying one thing, but your heart and your gut are saying, I think I want to try this. What is hard about, I will say this, what is hard about like a staircase, you can technically strip paint off of it. It's going to be a booger. It's going to be hard.
They actually painted their staircase.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that? Yeah.
We actually ended up in our farmhouse, our 1906 farmhouse. We painted white on the front part of the stairs that you can see, and brown, a dark brown on the top of the stairs. So we kept the wood. But in her case, she might have a really pretty oak.
I know, it's so
staircase
hard
and trim. So without seeing it, it's hard for me to know. If you're wanting to go for it and everything else is already white, you kind of probably have an idea of what it would look like white. I might go for it and paint it white.
Yeah. I hope that helps a little bit. Thanks for sharing that with us. If everything else is white, I would say definitely stick. If you are going to paint it, I would say white. Or if there's like a railing, you could go black, or to kind of add the pop of it. I'm not sure what that looks like.
It would just depend on what her other color
exactly.
scheme is.
And maybe black's too harsh for you. So sometimes actually if it's just oak, you could stain it. There's a lot of different stains out there. Like a walnut stain is really pretty, or there's lighter and darker stains. Sometimes that could be a really good option too. And it might be a little bit more durable than paint also on stairs. Okay, we have a really good question from our house of 6. I'm always afraid to put stuff on the walls because of leaving holes in the walls. Any suggestions? That is such, actually, honestly, I still struggle with that because we just moved into our new house about a year ago, and it takes a while to kind of get things where you want it. And so I totally get where you're coming from. And I think you just have to say to yourself, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to try this out. Maybe I'll hate it, but maybe you'll love it. And I would say just go for it, honestly, because you won't. I don't think you'll regret it, and holes can be patched up pretty easily. What do you say?
Yeah.
It is scary, though. It is scary.
Is it Command? Is that the brand where they're sticky and they're strong and you can peel off and stick on? Those really